This video demonstrates how to use observing mode and doing mode to observe variables in iCausalBayes for iPad. Tap the icon in the upper right corner of a variable to put it in observing mode. You will know you are in observing mode when you see a blue line appear and an eyeball icon in the upper right corner. The blue line represents the observed value. Leave the other two variables in graph mode. Variables in graph mode have a sparkline icon in the upper right corner. When we drag the line around, we can see how the other variables change for a given value of sunscreen. Notice that the distribution for melanoma doesn't move very much. Right now, it appears that sunscreen use has little effect on melanoma incidence. Notice, however, that the explanatory variable melanin index varies with sunscreen use. It appears that people with darker skin use less sunscreen, while people with lighter skin use more. Let's see what happens when we observe the effect of sunscreen use with different values for melanin index. Tap the icon to put melanin index into observing mode and move the line to the left. Now, when we observe different values of sunscreen use, we can see the effect it has on melanoma incidence. It appears that for people with light skin, as sunscreen use increases, incidence of melanoma decreases. Conversely, we can see that as sunscreen usage decreases, incidence of melanoma increases. Instead of observing what happens with different distributions of sunscreen and melanin index, we can use doing mode so that sunscreen is not affected by melanin index. Imagine that there is a law that requires everyone to use sunscreen regardless of their skin color. To see how the incidence of melanoma will be affected by such a law, we can use doing mode. Tap the eyeball icon to put sunscreen into doing mode. The icon should look like a wrench and a red line should appear. Notice that the arrow between melanin index and sunscreen becomes broken. This represents that melanin index does not have an effect on sunscreen use. Now, when we change the value for sunscreen, we see that it does affect melanoma incidence. As sunscreen usage increases, melanoma decreases. When sunscreen usage decreases, melanoma incidence increases.